I have the artwork here. The artwork's done here. You can't really see very well, but there's, oh, there you go, pixely effect here, like I had on my previous album. Binc, rinse, repeat. Name came to me out of nowhere. I just think that's the best choice, and I like this album cover a lot. I like the stars, I like the ones Armageddon, everything about it. Especially this non-anti-aliased text here at the bottom. I like that it sort of cuts off and rises up. I just need to do the flipping turn live mixes into some actual stuff. It is the beginning of the week beginning the 14th of December 2020, hoping that by the end of this week I will basically have finished my album, because I'm just turning live mixes into tracks at this point. Really hoping that, I mean, if I have 7 tracks here, I can hopefully do one a day, which is not too much to ask. One thing that for some reason took a long time for me to understand is that going on a walk after lunch around 2 p.m-ish is not a good idea, because for some reason it brings on a weird sort of mood that doesn't help. I don't know why exactly, but you get that heavy feeling in your heart and you come back and you think, I need to rest, and then before you know it, it's 4 p.m. You know what happens at 4 p.m? It feels like the end of the day because it's getting dark, whereas even though you still have more than half of the day left to work. I reckon don't walk at that time. But on a positive note, turning the first track, Thing I Do 16, into a proper track is actually working. Good ideas coming in. Genuinely proud of the direction it's going in at the moment. This is going well. I got the track list, obviously. I've probably said that before already. The first 2 tracks are nearly finished. I figured out the crossfade. Well, I basically figured out the crossfade between tracks 1, 2 and 3. Track 3 is much better than I remember it sounding, because I had a mix for it that I never used, but it's actually great. I just need to work on that today. Not sure how I'm going to incorporate the last track into there on side A. Side B hopefully can get working on in a couple of days. I mean, the last track there is basically finished, and that's like 9 minutes, so that's nice that I don't need to think about that last track. Really hoping I can get rid of this irritating feeling. I'm in the process of completely cleaning up this third track. It's a complete mess. The old file is an absolute mess. It had automation patterns dispersed amongst a bunch of instrumental ones. The mixing was way off, but the chaos in the mixing is what made the final crushed mix sound so good. But I have to redo it because I need to reshape the song, and I need to then remove the automation and start from scratch. Because it was bad practice on my part. We're actually going to name all the patterns here, which I never do. This line divider to separate the instruments and the automation. Look how much nicer that is now that all the channels are sort of stacked on top of one another. It's quite a difficult job mixing this track for some reason. I don't know why. The mids just don't want to cooperate. Have some high sort of stabs, nice low bass, but you'd think the pads would fill out the middles, but they don't. They end up making it sound super murky and a bit unappetizing. So I'm hoping the crushing will fix that. Well, I don't know why it's done that. It barely ever does that when I hit record. It normally fixes itself. Not a problem. I will just simply do this. I need to learn when is a good time to call it a day on a track and move on to another one, because this is definitely the hardest I've worked on any mix. I don't know why I'm not able to catch that spontaneity with this specific song, track 3. It's difficult. I don't know. I find myself not exactly knowing what to do next, when normally when I make music it's like everything falls into place and I'm like, right, I know my craft, I'll do that, that and that and that. Not happening here, unfortunately. It's Tuesday, you know? I've got 5 days left. I still have this whole evening left, so 5.5 days left to finish this. There's a question of bringing another melody in. Don't know whether I should do that. Come on. Move on to the B-side. Forget about this track for now on. You need a fresh pair of ears for that song. Keep going. Not a fan of doing this under pressure. The fact that I have to have this done basically by the end of the week is not good for creativity. All my previous stuff was very natural of the time. Now I'm forcing myself to do it and it's not as efficient. I'm spending more time doing things that aren't working. Whether the product will be better, I don't know. Hard to tell at this point. This 5th track is a pain. I just don't know what to do to develop it, and I can't exactly make another track now. I'm getting somewhere though. I sort of thought, what if I just switch the melody entirely at one point and then ride that wave instead of trying to keep one thing going throughout the whole song. We'll see. I'm slightly hungover. Improv stories, massive sandwich with egg, cheese, pork, gravy. Don't forget this moment. Feels wonderful. Unfortunately, I've been hardcore skimping on Video Diary for the last couple of days, or however long it's been, but the album is an EP now, because there's a different plan of action for release. I think I only have to do one more thing, which is fix the mix for the first track here. There are 3 tracks. I had a fantastic thing today. I had the last track on the EP this morning, where I was like, it's good, but I don't know if other people will think it's good. I think it loses the momentum from the second track. But then as I was going through Super Monkey Ball samples, I heard one which just sounded like a sort of like doom, like dub hit, and from there everything else was fixed. Added a second part to the track, sends it out so nicely. It's so much better now. That's a great feeling, and I'm going to see if I can do the same treatment but not as extreme to the first one, because with the second one I already had the whole song planned. The third song I had the whole song planned, but then I heard this sample and was like, oh god, am I going to have to change the whole second half? And I did that for the better, much better. So now I've just fixed the mix on this first track. The treble is too loud in the like really harsh bit. Maybe look through the sample list again, some of your favourite games, pick out some samples and play those out instead of just have the same thing going round and round over again, and fix the treble basically. Then the plan of action is to message someone on Instagram and see if they're happy with hosting this on their YouTube to give it a bit more exposure when it comes out. Quite a lot of anxiety around this EP release, because like I think it's good. I think it's a good release. I'm proud of it, definitely. But I sent an email to this specific place and I want to get a response from them. I really hope I do, because that'll help a lot. I don't want to have to just throw out an EP and not have any sort of hype. I have no idea how to do hype. I'm not a people person like that. So, God, I really need to get a Twitter presence somehow, but I just don't know. 2021 is going to be the year where I'm moving out. I get out the room, like, get a stable income, I get more following, and I feel more comfortable with what I'm doing. What have I done in 2020? It's not the end of the year yet, but it's Christmas tomorrow, which I'm in tier 4. So, what have I done this year? I've gone into the music world with All Singing All Dancing. That helped. Graduated, got a job. Some YouTube stuff, I guess. All in all, could have been much worse. Got to give myself some credit for this year. Christmas, how was it? It was fantastic. Just to be able to turn my brain off, because the only times that I can do that on like national holidays and when I'm on an aeroplane, because I know that I'm not required for anything. I know I can't do anything, but now I'm sort of riddled with that anxiety of this job that's happening in about a week. I really don't know if it's going to completely take over my life. Very scared about that, because you know, I have so many things I want to do creatively, but I don't know if this job is going to require me to do coding all the time around the clock. It's scary. You know, after about a month of that, I'll know what I can and can't do. 9:30 till 6 are the hours. I'll have to learn to get up in the morning quite early and do stuff then, or go to bed later. I'm very glad to have this camera, glad to have this video diary. 2020 has been a weird year. All the way through it, I was thinking this is the worst year. This is my worst year. And it was for the most part. What with COVID and August and just that struggle of finding a job, just general depression really. And yet at the end of the year, I have a job, I have somewhat of a music presence, I can't forget that. I didn't have that last year, I have that now. What else have I done this year? Just graduate, that's a big thing I guess, and find a job. That's what I needed to do when I've done it. I'm not exactly like, woo, very proud of myself, but I'm very thankful for this video diary, very thankful. I'm wondering when this is going to be on YouTube. I just filmed a new record video. Something this freaking banana phone AI continuation is giving me a lot of joy. This just interactive modular. Amazing. Banana phone now. Posted the promos for the EP. I haven't done this in a few days because whenever bad things happen, I'm like, oh, I gotta record that. If good things happen, I'm just like, well then, you know, let's carry on. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all good days, because I sort of cracked the code a bit. I actually managed to kick my ass and get going on that. Today was good as well. Learning things quite fast when it comes to being on the job. Not anticipating much for this EP release. I reckon the quote-unquote notoriety that my previous project got was quite luck-based, but these headphones that I just got, so good. The EP just got released. I've got to be honest, I fucking hate doing this promotion shit and saying like, hey, it's out now, go listen to it. Oh, it's out soon, listen now, check this out. I fucking hate doing any sort of promotion. Every time you see me post something that's like, check this out, it's out now, I say that with fucking gritted teeth. It's not something I enjoy doing. But the main thing is you can forget about the EP now. You can try to ignore it and focus on other stuff. I had a meeting today with the label and they were talking about you got to push yourself with regards to like URL fests and self-promotion. I was just like, I want to just do my own thing on my own fucking YouTube shit and post stuff on my website. I really don't want to have to fucking try to break through into the music industry. Album coming out in April, and then I reckon that these are the main, if it wants to focus on them. Come on, ready? Blender, piano, website, album, Insta videos. Those are like the main things that I need to focus on. Don't worry about Japanese, don't worry about the animation thing, because the animation thing can only start when I'm recording, when I'm out of here with the graphics tablet and I've finished the album, because that's quite a priority at the moment. And Japanese, just do that in the morning for work. Website, because I need a way of putting everything out there. And album, of course, because an album is coming up. Insta videos, because recently I've had a bit of attention on my Instagram because someone with quite a lot of popularity shared 2 of my posts that I made, so they got much more attention than anything else I've ever done. They were both videos, so I need to do more video oriented stuff with my own music in the background, I think, for that. A lot to do, a lot to think about. Still need to think about networking, playing URL fests and shit, which is just like fucking really don't want to do that. I don't know, we'll see. Probably can focus on that more around the album release. It's January 27th basically, and my camera is out of focus because I put it in close-up mode and I haven't changed it. This happened overnight, so yeah, look at that. Fucking, that's something that I have to manage on top of working overtime every day, getting the new album out in time for an early pre-release to go to him, because apparently dude over at the label was like, yeah, I can get you an early copy to Pantano. So who fucking would have thought? This month so far, what's happened this year so far, it is the 27th, is it? Yeah, 27th. So started my job, released the EP, got a Fantano shout out. Is there anything else? I don't think so. Mainly it's been the job. This is like a sort of new thing because I'm making an album. I have a month to make an album basically before it will get sent out early so it can be listened by Fantano. That's like the main thing right now. I would never thought I would be saying this, but that's the opportunity that presents itself. I'm working overtime a lot, but I need to stop that actually. Just work harder during the day, do more tracks for the album because I need to send it out. Fantano needs to listen to it and like it, and then my label and me get the big leg up. A lot of exposure for the label rests in my hands, so that feels like quite a lot of pressure. The thought of having an album which before release is hyped up by fucking Fantano that's a pretty good look, I think. A lot of attention. Shall see. If I have 4 tracks, let's say they're 4 minutes long, 4 4-minute tracks, 16 minutes, 45-minute album, 29 minutes left. 4 into that is 7.25, and then 7 songs in a month. Oh god. Oh, I've got so much on as it is. Fucking just get into the process of just focus. Oh yeah. It feels like, you know, when you're on like a roller coaster ride and you lurch forward and you have to sort of like you go back and you take a deep breath. That is happening constantly to me. I constantly feel the need to take these deep breaths to relieve some sort of uncertain knot that won't go away, and it's very intense to constantly feel like I'm being dragged forward at all moments. Leaves me feeling incredibly uneasy and pained a lot of the time. Okay. Probably should go back to work. So right now I have lots of different bits of songs. Actually, after this one finishes rendering, I'm just going to... Let me check real quick how much I have. So I'll take a little screenshot of it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I would say, legitimate tracks here. Factoring in the 4 that already exist. That's technically 12 tracks, not 11. I'm just thinking, how is that? I think that's not bad going, considering I have at this point about, I want to say, because it's the 3rd of February at the moment, I want to say 23 days is what I want to say. So Friday, the last Friday, is when I want to have everything finished, which is quite a trial. Possible, of course. Need to focus on these tracks now. I'm not sure what this is. Deep.flp, that could actually be a whole nother thing. I'm glad that I've got all these like parts of songs that I can through the month work together into a narrative of some sort. This track that's just rendering right now is straight up deep house. I have some trance cuts and then there's some dub techno cuts. Put them all together, hopefully it's not just a mess and some like sort of repetitive stuff, but it's actually compelling. Weird having an audience that I'm going to be giving this to. I'm not standing up enough in these. A lot of me is just sitting down. I'm kind of hoping that when I get around to editing this, it's not just an hour of me sitting at my desk, because I feel like there was a bit of variety in the earlier installments. But anyway, today's been kind of shit, what with having a whole nother suicide attempt to deal with, as well as stuff at work was hard to understand, and that's not the right time for that when you're having the emotional warfare against you of thinking about a potential August again. I am fucking sitting down, but that can all be turned around if I just manage to make some good progress on one of these tracks. I tried to work on one of the tracks and I just could not get a bass line properly, and the mix is bad. I'm not sure what's going on there. Don't have much time. I'm hoping by the end of this weekend I'll have like 2 songs done. All of them at the moment are kind of in prototype stages. I'll really get down to it and try and do like a song a day on the weekend, then that's good. Because it's a weird thing with this album. It's weird how it's just so different with this attention. We will see though. Oh, you know when you're like this the whole day because your body, like, you can't take the amount of stress, and so you're just constantly like shaking up and down as hard as you can in your chair, just trying to release some of it, and it never worked. Or maybe it does because I feel a bit better now because it's the evening. Need to relax at some point. The grind doesn't feel as strong as it used to, even though it's harder now. Here we have some very atypical 5 on a February weather. I don't know what is going on today, but the weather has been very sort of incredibly summery. Weird emotion right now, but working on ghetto1.flp. It's insane how I've got all these live mixes, and out of every single one of them, with the infinite possibilities that a live mix presents, I get to pick one to use. And it's just like, it's very draining just constantly doubting yourself. Like, is this the best way to do this with that? Is this the best way to do that with that? I've used those elements before, they sounded better, but not with that context. It's, again, that constant feeling of going like full speed ahead in a car, and any vehicle for that matter, and you're just sort of forced backwards and you're like sort of gasping for air, but you constantly feel that, and it's that was before the whole having to deal with another suicide attempt. Like, okay, 2 songs that are basically finished, which is not bad at all. By the end of next week, so this time in a week, hoping to have 6 complete songs. When I say complete, I mean the only thing that needs changing is maybe a bit of mixing, but the core is well established. And then, 6 songs at the end of that, and then another week passes. I'll have 10 songs, which I reckon then I can start making the shape of the album. I don't think I'll be having 11 songs. I don't think I'll have an album which is like lots of 3 and 4 minute songs, because these 2 ones, they are trance inspired house and techno. Can't do so much in 3 minutes. I can't. Although I did that before, I can't seem to harness that energy again right now, and right now is when I need it. We'll probably end up having 8 to 10 songs, and that will give me some breathing room. If they all end up being like 5-6 minutes long, that will give me some breathing room to cut some of it and get more to the point. If these all end up being like 6 minutes long or 5 minutes, then I'm looking at having like just over half an hour done by the end of next week, which is not too bad. My main concern at the moment is that the tracks that I have now, that I laid down in the last week or two, they're all kind of not similar, but they don't pop out and being like really cool individual pieces like they did in All Singing, All Dancing. They were all very clearly individual things. Whereas here, these 2 tracks I've got now are quite similar. But the 4 tracks I had in reserve, one of them is actually quite similar to that. The rest of them kind of their own thing, which is nice. Still got my doubts. This all might just be complete shit. This track that I'm working on right now, Kindling, which is what it's called at the moment, it has so much potential. I feel like it's so annoying because this is definitely the hardest one, because I've mixed it in FL Studio with, goes all the way up to 110k hertz, I mean, which is about as high as I go normally. Quite frankly, I'm not a good enough mixer to go higher than that. That's why my stuff is like low bit mainly. When I mix it down into 40 kilobits per second, it sounds so much better because it sounds like it's washing around nicely. And all the high-end stuff that you can hear in FL Studio, that's just this sort of mess. It turns into this nice, smooth, sort of quite intense, not intense smoothness. Come on, don't say that. Just this very lush wave that's, instead of being this sort of sharp, cold zap, is just this sort of warm wave, right? I'm just not unlocking this track at the moment. There's something there that's just not clicking. Don't know what it is. For those who are wondering, this track that I'm talking about is the one that I closed my Disagreement Live set with on YouTube. Always Broken, aren't they? But the remixed version, the techno version, not the sort of ambient dub fluxion thing. Yeah, it's nearly there. Something is just not there, and I don't know what it is. I don't want to have to sit on it for too long. No, I am giving myself 2 days for this, so I still have a few hours today, and then 4 or 5 hours tomorrow. I really can't wait until this is finished. Genuinely, I know it's great that there's this opportunity to get my album as a pre-release to Anthony Fantano. That's great, but I'm not enjoying it as much as I would like to be. I feel pressured and rushed, and it's not right, which is why I like being independent. But you can't do that and expect to go the places that you want to unless your music is really good, which mine isn't. Luckily, last evening, I managed to unlock that track, and it's great. It's so good. I'm not like joking here, I'm being serious. I did a great job. I literally added like one thing and it just completed the whole piece. God, I've been so stressed today. All these new concepts that I don't fully understand, and just the thought of not having time for anything. I'm gonna do some overtime tonight after I do some of the album material, because last night was very successful, and then hope that I can get some sort of good overtime understanding done, because it's a whole new project that I need to work on, and it's with someone else, and I can't fucking irritate them with incompetence. So really, really close to a panic attack today, I think. Couldn't breathe easily, couldn't think straight. My body was like sort of crumpling inwards like a dead spider. Made some good progress on what is likely to be called the O. It's approaching 10, and it's time for me to open up my laptop and see if I can get some work done. I'm rocking back and forth like this because I'm stressed out my mind with a certain thing. It's fucking my head so bad. I think I understand why you see Terry Davis like this, where he's concentrating, he's doing something, or he's thinking, he's just in his head, and he's like, you know, his teeth are just clamped down on each other, because he's feeling that grasp on his heart that's just sort of shaking it about like this, and the only way to alleviate it is to like just I'm feeling pretty confident about the album. I have 4 songs here, one of which is actually I have 5 songs really, and that actually totals, after I've trimmed down the intros and outros so it flows together, probably about 36 minutes, and that's just with 5 tracks, because each time I sort of get a bit carried away and the beat is too fun to cut short, and I'm not just saying like, okay, stop now. You know, these are high energy tracks that need to have a lot of room to play. I don't want to be the one saying, no, you stop now, your turn is over. I have, right off the top of my head, 2 more tracks that I think are great. 3, actually. There are some others that are like good, but I might just leave off it considering how well these ones are turning out right now. Especially this one that I've just done, Pokemon 47.mp3. That's fantastic. I did a way down moment where I found that one sample, played around with it, and it sort of fits into the original progression. It's great, so that's nice. Do need to think about the pacing a bit, but Thursday tomorrow, geez, nearly the weekend. I think I might be able to get quite a lot done on the weekend. It's been a very slow week at work because there's been so much doing nothing and waiting. Don't really look forward to work the next 2 days, but album is looking good at the moment, which is nice. Next 2 weeks are actual, real, proper crunch time. Funny how it's actually real now. Real job, real album prospects. It's all real. None of that fake university bubble shit actually happening. It's all about performance for the next 2 weeks. God, yeah, it's going to be really hard, but who knows? Maybe it will go by quickly and I'll look back and think I'm glad I did all that, because there's a lot to do. I'm doing overtime at the moment because I feel comfortable about the album enough so not to work on it tonight, because I worked on it earlier this morning, but I'm just doing overtime now until midnight. It's coming up to 8. There's a set deadline for a thing on Wednesday, so no way am I gonna allow myself to stress over that on like Tuesday, because that would just kill me. I need to try and get that out of the way as soon as possible and just work until it's finished, as well as doing the whole album thing. This is probably the intro track. It has such a good chord progression with such a nice flow to it. I cannot for the life of me think of where to go from there. I have like 2 minutes. 1 minute of that is like build up into when the kick drum comes, and it's just like, I don't know what to do, which is so annoying. Because this is like the last track that I need to flesh out until I can put all the tracks together into an album. Because I have 6 tracks here, one of which is basically complete because I'm just going to use the live mix, I think. But there's just this first track, I cannot let this chord progression with this sort of momentum and urgency, I cannot let that go to waste. I have no idea what to do, how to progress it from this point. I don't have much time. Well, I'm not going to figure it out right now, so I'm saying fuck the intro. The track list is this. I'm pretty sure those are the correct track names as well. The intro, I tried to work on it, it's just not going to happen, I'm afraid. Plus, with those songs, you get about 40-minute album length, which is good. I tried to remix Rinse Off, that needs a lot of work to like become, like it's okay, but it could be much better. It's nice that Tobias is like finished, like I'm just not touching that. First track, title track, a little bit of tweaking will make it really good. It's lacking in some places. The O has a bit of a problem where I can't tell if it's boring or not. I've heard it so many times. Maybe there's one extra ingredient that I can add that will spice it up. Water Slug 2 is actually pretty much finished at this point. It sounds quite good. Segue between the O and that track is great. The ping, I didn't even realise, like that's basically finished as well. There's just a little thing I have to do for that. I'm quite close. I think tomorrow I really want to just get down the title track, then I have somewhat of an album flow. Then it will be Burn Session, not Burn Session. I need to get used to the fact that it's not called that. It's called Rinse Off. And then after that, just keep revisiting those mixes until you find what it is that's stopping them from being great. Or maybe leave it for a week. No, I can't do that. I'm glad that I got rid of that intro. It's annoying me. I might just take the night off and the next night off, because I'm just sick of hearing these songs over and over again. Like, I can't tell if they're any good anymore. Genuinely bored whilst listening to them sometimes, because it's just like, oh, it's this again. I've never spent this long over something like this, because All Singing All Dancing was just sort of throwing stuff together, putting it out there, not really caring. Very carefree, just, oh hey, this sounds quite nice, let's put that out. Whereas there's just so much pressure now, and it's not natural, more forced this way. The EP was different, because I already had the tunes as well. This is a whole new thing, and I'm already quite tired of spending every bit of my free time working on it and hearing the same things over again. I will say though, I had a bit of an epiphany because I Rinse Off. Initially that was like 128 BPM. It's like 160 now. because when I initially sped it up, I was like, whoa, that improves it so much. How is that even possible? Then it occurred to me, like, you can just do that for the whole album. So the whole album is sped up now, and it sounds better, more engaging that way. And that means it's fresher for me, because I'm not used to hearing it like that, and that gives it some more excitement. So when I heard it right now in its unfinished state with faster, I was like, oh, this is kind of what it might be like for someone hearing this for the first time, and that was a good feeling. But I do need to get off that, remove myself from that feeling, and just continue working on these mixes. I mean, the O sounded like a full song, like it was just complete. And Water Slug 2. The ping needs a bit of change. Rinse Off needs a remix, like I need to mix it differently completely. Tobias is done, and the title track needs probably the most change at this point now. Not much, seemed to come together rather quickly. 6 tracks. I look forward to when I can make music without this kind of pressure. No time constraint, just make stuff in my own time, and then when I think something's ready I can say, hey, that's that. I'm just gonna scrap the title track, or at least I'm gonna remake it completely. New chord progressions, new build up, too ambitious. So the original track, it was going to start all nice for 2 minutes, then launch into a more serious groove where it just keeps playing the tonic note, plays that Nokia N-Gage sample, works through that through to the Homebrew channel sample. That dials it back a bit until the ludicrous baby part comes in and the dub hit comes in, and it like ramps up with the acid synth. It was just too ambitious, I'm afraid. So I'm trying to remember how the hell I made those first 2 tracks for side B of All Singing or Dancing, because like there was no pressure involved in any of those. It was just, okay, I'll make a couple tunes. I remember making them really quickly, and that second track is just like In Bloom by Nirvana. I don't know, I've not got much time left, but I need to sit on this and work out how, because I have a nice chord progression here, work out how I'm going to play around that somehow, and then that will be a good intro. It should be, at least. Let's say that you're just here like me. Friday evening, work just finished, finishing up my dinner. Maybe you're doing this too, you're eating dinner Friday, should be relaxing now. You're like, okay, now I relax this evening. And then you're like, what the fuck am I doing? I should be doing something. You can't remember what you're supposed to be doing. You can't remember how you're supposed to relax. You can't remember how to engage because you need to relax. And you're just stuck in this sort of panicky limbo where it's just like, I don't know what I'm doing. The uncertainty of a new week is not something I'm enjoying at all. This coming week I feel like is going to be difficult. Definitely. More difficult than the other weeks. Because every week has been, it's had a lot of downs. I feel just locked in of this situation, like this room. So I don't know how long this diary is going to be, like this entry, or how long it's going to be in the edit up until this point. Maybe it's been about half an hour or something of just me sitting in this black void talking about uncertainty. Certainly not going to be an entertaining watch. The more days go by, the more I wish I could go back to when I was doing the first clips. This, I'll be out of here soon, I think. March is just coming up, and that means I've been basically home for, actually I think 11 months at this point. 11 months I've been in this room, and it's already starting to feel kind of summery at points, reminding me of that sort of weather in May. I don't like that. Not the fact that it's sunny, but the fact that it all reminded me of May, which was not a nice month. Seems like there's so much negativity, doesn't there? It's not all negativity. The main thing being that these last 2 tracks on this album, they're really good. They've turned out very nicely. Yesterday I worked on Rinse Off for a few hours, and that was great. I really thought I've got that now. That feels good to have unleashed the potential of that track. Obviously, last track is just like still as good as it ever has been. That live mix was a godsend. So it really is at this point just trying to do this intro, which is working now. It's in that stage where there's lots of potential. I just have to find that path through it that is the most effective. It's going to be a sort of 5-minute track, very similar to the first couple tracks on the B-side of All Single Dancing, which moves into the O, which is basically finished. So I'm quite close to finishing this album. I have a week left, or thereabouts. I really do wonder where this album's going to put me. I feel like it's just not going to do much, honestly. But I'm forgetting who has their eye on it. I do look forward to when I'm moved out of here, out of this just constant black void. What's happened in the last year that's been something I want to take forward with me? Nothing that feels like sort of cinematic in the way it used to. Getting a job didn't feel very exciting. Rising in popularity of music is nice, I guess. I don't know. Everything about these last year has been kind of nothing, honestly. I'm trying to prove myself wrong, but I can't. What am I looking for to spruce things up? All the pressure is there for me to do music all the time. But it's exhausting and it's not fun to do it all the time. I want to be able to just do my own thing, have a website where I just chuck my shit and people tune in because they're interested. It's too much to ask, really. I'm so fucking close. Like, I must be, right? There's this final track that needs sorting out, and I need to add a bit more excitement to 2 of the tracks. One of them just needs a straight up like fix, which is alright, that shouldn't take too long. And then the other one needs some proper action on it, and then I need to mix them differently. I went on a walk listening to the 5 tracks that I have sort of somewhat complete, and it was uncomfortable. Definitely not soft in the ears. Oh, I'm getting tired of this. Really getting pretty tired of this, and I've got like a week left. Starting to doubt my own deadline, because like this is a deadline that I set myself. God. What happened to me, man? In uni I was just making a tune in 2 hours and that was it. I didn't care, alright? I just made something, I put it out, and everything was lovely. But now there's so much effort and I'm not feeling the results as good as I used to. Maybe it's just because I'm hard on myself. Maybe my standards are higher or something. But I miss just being able to whack something together. Not a fun time doing this album at this pace. I'm so close. I do get a bit closer each day, I think. It's never close enough at this rate. First track is finished, or extremely close to finishing, but the tune's there. Thank God for that. There's a whole another tune that's just gone away, because this one is entirely new now. So that's 5 unused tracks for this album. Good. You know, use them later for something or other, or just forget about them entirely, because they weren't going anywhere at the moment. Now I need to do the remixes, or the remixing, and then change some of the instruments, add some new ones to make it sound better, fiddle around with the master mix when it's all together, and might be done by the end of the week, who knows. I'm glad that all the tracks are there. That's good. Yeah, last track is great. I'm really, really happy with that last track. And the one before is good as well, yeah. Like that. When it fully takes shape, I'll be able to appreciate it on another level. But I'm glad that first track's done, because that feels like a big thing. It really feels like I'm drawing to a close now. So these are all basically new tracks. I didn't use 12 in 2000, which was like a full track. I didn't use... Oh well, I used Rinse Off. Is essentially an old track that I repurposed. Didn't take too long to repurpose. The rest of it's all like new stuff that's been going on in the last 3 weeks. That's a quick 3 weeks if that's what it's been. Not over yet, I'm getting myself, but it's been a quick 3 weeks if that's the case. Maybe even a bit longer than that. This is good. I'm quite proud of this actually. Maybe my most ambitious, but I'm not sure. I think that's just because of the pressure. Don't think about it too much. So, it's looking good. It's Thursday tomorrow, so there's about 4 days left. Weekend, I'll really crack down on this. Improved upon the ping a lot. Lots and lots of small differences that have made it a much better track. And I realise how close I am to the finish. So I think what I'll do tomorrow is I'll work on the O, and then that will really mainly be it for the track reworks. Might tweak a little thing here and there when I go to like the final mixing, which shouldn't actually take too long, because most of the tracks are basically all of them mixed well enough. But that's nice. Feels so much better having that first track done, and it's a good first track, so that's nice. Title track. So it's good. Definitely good. It's coming to a close. I'll be able to take a little break. I still have to do a set for a festival. Not entirely sure what I'm going to do for that. Not sure how much old shit I can just reuse or repurpose. But anyway, that's a whole other matter. Fact is, the album is nearly there, really close now, which is good. I definitely will have enough time in 4 days if I crack down on the O tomorrow. Good, yeah. I wonder how long I've been working on this, because like that Fantano tweet was 27th or something, almost a month, so not long when you think about how long people normally take on an album, but this was like non-stop outside of work, so it'd be good to have a bit of free time outside of that to do some stuff. There's like one thing left. It's like a lot of little things, I guess. But for the album, the only major thing that I need to do is fix the O. Second track, the momentum is not being carried for 5 minutes. There's like some little thing that's just not there. When I add that will be it. And I don't know how, I looked at that for a long time, can't find it. Everything else, all the other tracks are like nicely done, and there's just maybe a little tweak here and there. I know I can do that. Whereas this I'm like somewhat worried about because I don't know what the answer is, and I just need to find that one thing to unlock this track. What's been happening the last few days, it's been weird. Felt like summer, straight up summer. I'm wearing shorts at the moment, and this thin My Bloody Valentine shirt that I wear during the summer because it's like nothing. It genuinely feels like summer at the moment in February. Sure, it's getting dark at 6:30, or it is dark now, but it's felt like summer all day, and that has made me realise how much I'm affected by this sort of stuff. The unexpectedly lovely weather continued today. Tomorrow I start a new project, I think, at work, which is nice. Get to test how well I have improved, how much I've improved in the last 2 months at this point, just under 2 months, 7 weeks more accurately, but that'll be good to get into something new there. But yeah, I have a small list here, which is the last bits. It's not going to focus, is it? Because I have the different focus thing on. Fuck it. I have that list, which these all look like pretty easy tasks, so I'll apply those to the O, and then that was like the main thing I needed to do. That was like the main thing I needed to get out of the way. Now it's just polishing at this stage. Fiddled around with some of the mixes today. I need to go on a lot of walks and listen to what it's like on a walk, because there's like a lot of quite harsh frequencies. Because I'm dealing with these trebly strings with 40 kilobits per second, so not much room for like airy, high-end strings. So you get this sort of harsh. I need to figure out how to properly get around that. They're really nice, but they're just sometimes they make my ears ring a bit, which is obviously not good. I need to do a listening test with the earphones as well. March the 1st, I'm uploading what could be the final album onto my phone to do a listen through on some cheap earphones to see how they sound. Hopefully it's good. I don't have to do a whole nother process of mixing stuff differently, and then that might be it actually. It was very nice actually listening to the album whilst like struggling to stay awake. Had quite a nice effect on that, because I listened to it twice this morning in bed. I was like, oh, it's 7 AM, I can listen to the album in this scenario before I start work. Couldn't really stay awake whilst listening to it, so when it ended, I put it on again and the same thing happened, but I was able to pay a bit more attention and it sounded good both times. It's 9:30. We will see now what it's like on those earphones. The album has been submitted. It doesn't come out until the 23rd of April, and today is the 2nd of March. So I have quite a while to have fun with making promo videos. Maybe need to do some networking, but I can implicitly do that. Making lots and lots of promo videos. Not too many, but just making some good ones. Maybe using TerraGen or something like that. Cool software. And then spreading my influence. God, spreading my influence, seriously. Maximizing my face on Instagram by just following a bunch of those art accounts, because one of them, right, this really cool art account actually featured one of my tracks on their story. So here you can see what I'm doing is I'm rendering out frame by frame using a script maker from like 1997 called CamPath, something for TerraGen 0.9.43, I think. It's following a camera path at the moment, and I'm hoping that this can give me some cool enough results. Cool enough for me to stick using this convoluted method to animate my music videos for this album, because this looks fantastic, this sort of low poly stuff. Love this. And the fact that it's actually rendering in the same way it would in 1997, that's awesome. Fits really well in with the aesthetic of the album. So that's good. This website, this is talking about, it's a German website called Terra Dreams, which is presumably used to be a website talking about TerraGen and stuff you can do there. Talking about binc. Coincidence there is ridiculous, right? Binc video and fast processor or something. What was it called? Fast movie processor. I'm guessing this is also software. This looks like virtual dub, I guess. And maybe this could be used to get some sort of compression and video quality that you would also expect from that time, which would be perfect. Because if you look at these videos from 2006, right? Look at this shit. This is absolutely beautiful. The low qualityness of it is probably not coming across in the camera. This actually probably looks better through this webcam than it does on YouTube. Better, I mean, like pixel smoothing. But anyway, it looks superb. Hopefully, if I stick with it and get some really cool results with this script, and also find a bunch of other plugins that this website is using, because that'd be sick. I cannot believe this shit, okay? You cannot make this shit up. So I have this whole binc thing, which is like a scheme for making my tracks, right? All revolving around sort of low-bit stuff. This fucking shit right here from Rad Video Tools, if this is not going to focus, is it? But you can read that. It says binc it. It's spelled with a K, not a C, but that is used for compressing something and making it of lower quality. What are the fucking chances of that? Crazy. Like, am I recording? Yeah. I promise you that's not where I got it from. I got it from a Super Mario Maker video that some Japanese Shiba VTuber made. But this is ridiculous coincidence. It's mental, isn't it? It's crazy.
I'm working on the MechaFest set, but more importantly, I'm recording during the day.
What's the next thing? I guess it's just like trying to network. Oh yeah, it's like album promo stuff. So that's like making videos, maybe making the visualizer if I'm that proactive. I don't know if I really care too much about it though, because like, who really cares about the visualizer? They're there to listen to the album. You might not bother with the visualizer making it good this time around. The main thing is like promo stuff. Instagram and Twitter posts, isn't it? 8th of March, 11 o'clock, 2021. So, I made it this far. Okay, I don't have a following, but wherever I am right now, to the point where I'm like wanting to put out stuff by not having to do any social interaction or like really trying to put myself out there, because this has all just been me chucking stuff out there and it's attracting some attention. Not sustainable, unfortunately, 99.9% of the time. Need to move my ass and actually get talking with people, which is something that I've been putting off for so fucking long. Really just have not wanted to do that at all. But could be fun, and definitely could be worth it, because the social aspect is what's important. Because I've realised that wherever I am right now, I'm never truly content with it, because it could be better. Because it's quite scary to think that I constantly want to keep improving, especially when I haven't done any social interaction, which is like the most important bit. Just gotta keep making stuff, just get on social media and talking with people and sort of spreading my network. Just thinking about it, it's just like, I don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that. It's not fun, but it's something that has to be done if I want to, you know, feel self-improvement. If I think about the improvement over last year, that was like January, there was like nothing at all. By the time December came around, I'd already landed something for Dismiss Yourself, which was like a very nice sort of pillar right there. Thankfully, January and February have been pretty good. Make more of an effort to get talking with people. Really getting quite sick of having to do stuff. What I mean by that is like having to make these things. Not just me making stuff of my own accord, but having a list of things that I need to do for certain people, for certain labels. It's just like, fuck this, dude. I'm sick of making visualizers as well. I really just want to do my own thing at this point. Who even cares about like album visualizers, right? Who looks at those? I know it shouldn't be like that. It should be do it for the art. But I'm not doing it for the art, I'm doing it for the label at this rate. I've got all these things that I need to be doing on this list, 3 of which are like individual tracks that need doing for a different thing. But I'm pretty fucking burnt out, honestly. looking at this stuff, just, I don't really want to do this right now. I've done nothing today. 6 o'clock and it's just Saturday. I've done fucking nothing. I feel like I haven't done one of these in a while for some reason. There's another opportunity that's come up for the summer, which means that after all this stuff is done here, there will be another thing to do. But that's probably going to be quite fun, I think. A bit more enjoyable. It's a music related thing, but it's a fun little tape release on a sort of underground lo-fi DIY tape label, so can have a lot of fun with that probably, actually. That'll be a fun thing to do, but I've very much forgotten how to take breaks. So the track for the sampler, very nearly finished. Might just have some fun with finding some good samples to use to spice up the track a bit more. But apart from that, Mecha Fest is tomorrow, or at least the stage that I'm performing on is. So that's nice. Be able to put that set on YouTube, and that will keep my channel alive and breathing for a little bit. Main thing is just promoting this album. April's booked up, I think, because there'll be the tracks that I need to do for the 2 individual tracks I need to do, and there's the album promo, and that's like that one. Might have to do that other fucking visualizer. I might just say I really don't want to do that, but at the same time I don't know if I can say that. Don't know about that visualizer, man. Kind of forgot that my album was a thing, so I need to do the promo for that somehow, or just don't and just fucking continue. No, that's not the way to go. I need to learn how to do that somehow. I definitely need to announce it soon so I have enough time to build it up. I know what I could do for Instagram, but it doesn't seem very sustainable. It really is just about getting involved in these hotspots and like saying this is what I do. Even if it's my own fucking thing and it's like not really tied into the scene at all. I don't know. Just don't want to do any of that. Really getting quite fucking sick of this. But everyone else seems to be able to just keep churning out stuff. What the fuck is the point of all this? Just sort of putting stuff out and... Oh god, it's fucking... It feels like there's just way too much that I've set myself, but I just will not be happy with myself if I don't manage to get through with it. So it's a tough situation being like that. I don't know how I'm supposed to do this and not feel like I'm like wasting my life away by fretting about how to do things, not just like doing stuff. Because I understand that the main thing is just the practice of just doing it and figuring it out for yourself. And I can never remember how long it takes for that, because obviously there's variable times for that. You can't just say, oh, in a month you'll know how to do what you want to do. It's not right. I can never remember that. The roadmap is this, right? It's March 27th, and I want by the end of the year to have like a significant increase in outreach, but the only way that I can do that is by putting myself out there, and I feel like the current stuff that I do at the moment is not very good, so I need to complement that by increasing my ability in other areas and then factor that all in. Yeah, I just don't know how people do this sort of thing. This is the moment I'm really thankful that I'm not one of those people who, whenever they have a birthday, they have a panic attack and they're like, oh, I'm older now, my life is ruined. I can see where they're coming from because, you know, shut the fuck up. The main thing that I've learned from this album development is, in future, really try not to force things, because I just listened to it for the first time in like a month and I'm not particularly proud of it really. Like the last track, the only reason that I like that one is because that was very natural. That was literally just like a live mix of the moment. It worked. All the other tracks were just like, I need to finish this, I need to finish this, I need to get this out. Not fun, really. That's a shame. But definitely that I learned from that, like, don't let you get in that situation again where you have to get something out quickly. It's funny because I could have technically still been working on it in this month, but because of the whole Fantano thing I had to finish it way earlier. The reception to the release of the album, not the release, sorry, the release date, because I put on Insta and Twitter, I said April 23rd, and it got there were a lot of messages that were like, oh, I can't wait for this, wasn't expecting that. Hopefully build that up even more when the next release comes around. What originally started as an album, which was like a sort of caffeine-fueled, like, yeah, let's get this shit done, and it's going to be the super, I've got all these ideas, and it's going to be crazy, and Like, I'm gonna really apply myself to this album, because I haven't really done that before, like make a thing in a concentrated time period. It's gonna be freaking awesome. That very quickly deteriorated into shit. This is caffeine-fueled nightmare where I'm being strung along by nerves and anxiety, and caffeine is only adding to that. Fucking hell, I just have to get on this grind every day to make this album. And it really turned into a struggle and a challenge, and it turned into an album about just getting through it somehow. So not the exact opposite, because it's still getting through it, rather than going full steam ahead and really going for it. This is life pulling you along and you having to deal with it. So the title, which was decided before I even started working on the album, took on a very different meaning. 24/7, 365 of just trying to get through it and struggling, but managing somehow. When I was making the album, I was like, I don't like this. Every time I have to work on a specific bit, I'm like, this is so forced. None of this is natural. None of this is me doing it because I want to. This is me because I have to, and I'm being forced to make it better and just churn this out, and it sucked. I really had to get as much emotion and feeling out of my heart as I could, and over time, I really spent myself. But the more I listen to this album now that I'm feeling happier, I guess, it's better, much better than it sounded when it was finished. Much better. Hoping when it comes out it gets a nice reception. I'm hoping it sounds like the way my friend said it did, because actually, obviously it being a very personal album, I was kind of reticent to send it to people, but I was like, I need some other opinions, because I'm just getting a feedback loop at the moment. I don't know how fucking Bill Wurtzel does it, because like he just does all the shims. I don't know if he has people he texts and is like, hey mate, you want to check this out? Doubt he does. But to get in that feedback loop, brutal. And to have someone say like, I liked this part, or this could do with a little fix, it's like, well, I didn't expect that. Changes the game. But most importantly, my friend said he liked it because it sounded very vulnerable. Definitely my most vulnerable album, which I was like, that is exactly what I want. I want it to sound like vulnerable, strung along by caffeine, just getting through it, emotions on the line. I don't want it to be like there's some sort of, oh, I'm the boss, look at me go, 24/7, 365. No, not at all. This album has pessimism and worry flowing all the way through it. Even if it sounds very jolly and party atmosphere, it's not. it's not meant to describe that at all. Whether that comes out in sound I mean, this guy has like impeccable sort of house and techno taste, so that to someone who doesn't listen to much house, don't know how that will get to them. Whether it just sounds like some sort of, or it's a slapper house album with lots of video game samples. If you enjoy it, that's great, I guess. If you listen to it, that's great. That's the album. It's pessimistic, it's worried, but it gets to it. I didn't want to do a visualizer for my album. I was like, fuck it, I need a break. I really don't want to do this anymore. But dude came back to me, the guy who was going to do my visualizer came back to me and was like, I can't do it because I was going to shoot it on film with my friend and something happened to my friend, so I can't do it alone. So I'm just like, fuck it, I'll just do it by myself then. Because I mean, you know, I have a bit of a complex as well, where it's just like, I need to do it myself. With that aside, it's taken me 4.5 hours to do the first video. It's basically finished. There's like a tiny bit that I'll touch up at the end when I've finished everything else, when I have peace of mind that it's all basically done. It needs to be done by Friday, and one of the videos needs to be done by ideally Tuesday evening. I'll try and finish this one, the one for the second track tonight, and then on Monday I won't have the discipline to get up early in the morning. I never do for some reason. I used to get up early before work for some reason. Now I can't do that. If I do that, that will mean that I can have that third video done at the end of Monday. 4, 5, 6, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. If I get a crack on, I could maybe do 1.5 videos a day, and then that will be done. Then I need to finalise Ace Tantina visuals. Then I need to relax, is what I need to do. That's like a job, to work out how to fucking take it easy and stop being so hard on myself all the time. Every single hour I'm just thinking, you're doing the wrong thing, you're wasting your time, no one cares about this fuck shit, not even you, so why are you doing it? And it's really not, it's not working out upstairs, I'm afraid. What I'm working on right now is the rinse off video, which is really coming along quite nicely because it's the simplest of the bunch in terms of composition. Instead of
loads of different things. It's just a few things that already speak for themselves quite a lot. So a lot of my work's cut out, and I can't spend too much time, making these super delicate things right now. And then Tobias tomorrow, and potentially on Friday, I'll condense some of the videos into promo clips or something like that. Each morning I've been waking up feeling really bad, like really not good at all. Kind of the similar sort of thing, like the whole resetting thing in early 2019, of just by the end of the day you're feeling alright and you've done it, it's good. But then when you wake up you're just like, fuck no, I can't drive this, like I lost control over it, and you somehow piece it together. Normally by about 4 o'clock you're alright. My work day ends at 6 p.m, but that's not fun. I think that's heavily tied into slow progress at work, just because the thing I'm working on right now is particularly difficult. But it's almost over, I think, because, or at least the main hurdle is over. It doesn't feel like it's been a busy week, even though every night I've been doing the visualizer in the same way as I was doing the album. So the album has been out for about a day, and thankfully definitely the best rollout that I've had yet in terms of immediately picking up some good reception. Then all the promo stuff and all that is handled, so really I guess that is that for that album. Probably move on from there, thankfully. What's funny is it's 10 o'clock now, I could properly relax, but the one time when I'm like, okay, I can actually relax now, I've got a fucking headache. And it's not very... I've taken paracetamol and it hasn't died down in like 50 minutes, so that's very annoying. But good, yeah, the album is out there, and it's currently doing very nicely. This is me trying to relax. In the back of my head I'm just thinking, surely there's something that you could be doing.